Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at 4 altcoins that are all in different narratives that I think could do extremely well in the bull run. Now I'm not saying go out and buy these today. However, I think this could be a good portfolio for altcoins if you're interested in that. And so if you like this content on altcoins, we're always looking ahead on this channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification for future videos. And so before we get into the altcoins here, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, as this has overall control of the entire market. And so we can see currently Bitcoin's trading at $42,176. Now it did have a little bit of a drop today. We are just holding this trend line here. We can see that we have bounced off it multiple times over the last week or so. Now if we do break down here, we could potentially see $38,500. Now there is a CME futures gap that was missed and could be filled around $39,600, and so there is potential for that. If we do continue to fall here, I would expect to find support around this blue support trend line here, and so that is something to keep an eye on. And so we can see here that this indicator has turned green, where the altcoin market is starting to turn bullish here. We have been above $500 billion market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so this is something that I'm keeping an eye on, as I'm very bullish on many different altcoins. And so if you're interested in leverage trading, you can long or short Bitcoin on Margex here. There is a link underneath the video. They also have many different assets here as well that you can long or short, so make sure to check that out. Also, if you're interested in knowing what I am personally buying or trading, you can check out the link underneath the video to Patreon, which will provide the access to my buy and sell alerts. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the first cryptocurrency here. This is Alephium. This is ALPH. Now this has done very well over the last couple of weeks. I actually mentioned this in my Patreon group a few weeks ago, and since then we're up over 100%. And so we can see this is still only $156 million market cap, and so that just shows there's a lot of potential for this. This definitely could become a $1 billion or $2 billion market cap during the peak of the bull run. And so let's take a look deeper into this here. They are focusing on leveraging a stateful UTXO model and DAG data structure to deliver efficient and practical sharding. And so they can support over 10,000 transactions per second while preserving a seamless single chain user experience. And so something that's very interesting about this as well is they have a proof of less work, which is a consistent and robust consensus mechanism that reduces the energy consumption by over 87% compared to classic proof of work. And so this is definitely a cryptocurrency I find very interesting. We can see something else here as well. As people are starting to mine this, we can see that the hash rate is continuing to increase. Now this is a very bullish part for this cryptocurrency. If this is continuing to increase here, the price will follow as well. Now, one thing I do want to mention here is they do have a unlock coming up here, and that is coming up on January 27th. And so they're going to be releasing 3.2 million tokens, and so that is something to keep in mind. As you can see, they have released a lot of the larger unlocks. Now this one coming up here is not as big as those past ones. However, this is still a substantial amount of the tokens in supply. It's about roughly 5%. And so this is just something to keep in mind with this date coming up, that we could potentially see a pullback. Now that may be a good opportunity to enter. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next cryptocurrency here. This is focusing on Launchpads. Now if you're familiar with Injective, this was just released a couple of days ago and listed on multiple platforms. And so we can see this is currently trading just above 4 cents, and it has a market cap of 17.3 million. And so Launchpad cryptocurrencies have done very well in the past bull markets. We can see here that the Binance Launchpad had projects that did extremely well. The best one here being Axie Infinity, had a 1,649 times return. Now we had Polygon at 1,110 Sandbox. And so we can see here that these 10 projects had very good returns that all came from the Launchpad. And so there's definitely a lot of opportunity for getting in projects extremely early through these Launchpads. And so I am bullish on the Launchpad released on Injective, as Injective has done very well over the last 6 months. And so in the upcoming bull run, I think that Launchpads will continue to do very well. And that is why I am bullish on the Launchpad just released on Injective. And so make sure to check that out. Now, the next cryptocurrency we're going to be taking a look at is on a completely different narrative. Now this is a layer 2 cryptocurrency. Now I've talked about this in past video many times. I'm very bullish on Metis. I just actually made a past video on this a few days ago, and so if you're interested in that, it is a more in-depth video. You can go ahead and check that out on my channel. And so one thing that it makes me very bullish on Metis here is that they're going to be releasing their ecosystem development fund very shortly. They have approximately $500 million that's going to be going towards that. And so they're going to be releasing their sequencer mining rewards and more. The Metis Ecosystem Development Fund is set to begin disbursements following the release of the Metis Decentralized Sequencer in Q1 of 2024. And so they are going to be launching their testing tomorrow for this. They have 5 DApps that will be taking part in the community testing for the Metis Decentralized Sequencer. And so they're going to go ahead and test that. Now, if they find it to be successful, they may go ahead and launch the Decentralized Sequencer, which would therefore launch their funding of $500 million, and it would grow the ecosystem substantially. So that's something to keep in mind there as well. Now, the last cryptocurrency we're going to be taking a look at is focusing on real-world assets. Now, this is a category that Larry Fink has mentioned. He mentioned that the Bitcoin ETF has to come first. However, tokenization of assets is something that could affect the industry in a very beneficial way. And so we can see here on this article that BlackRock, Larry Fink says Bitcoin ETFs are just the first step in the technological revolution of finance. Now step 2 is tokenization. Now that is what Polytrade is focusing on, is tokenizing many different assets. So we can see here they have their marketplace that was recently launched. However, they are focusing on tokenizing many different assets. Here we have car loans, trade finance, real estate, structured credit, collectibles, treasuries, equities, and bonds. And so this is a cryptocurrency here that I think could do very well. Now they have also worked with MasterCard here. You can see that the Global Startup Engagement Program for MasterCard aims to scale innovation and simplify the movement of decentralized financial assets. So Polytrade has joined forces with them to expand the use of blockchain and bring real-world assets to institutions. Polytrade was also one of the participants at MasterCard Multi-Token Network Innovation Sprint in London alongside 13 banks and many large corporations. And so this cryptocurrency is obviously mingling with large corporations. They're working along the side of MasterCard. And so there's a lot of positive things being said about Polytrade in their marketplace for real-world assets and maybe tokenizing financial products. And so if you enjoyed this video or think there's any other cryptocurrencies that are potentially missed that would be a good fit for a portfolio moving forward, let me know underneath the video in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video.